Hey, this is Steve from B&M. I'm happy to introduce our new B&M Hi-Tek Differential Cover for the Ford Super 8.8 rear end. Now these are going to fit 2011 through 17 Ford trucks and SUVs, but please check our website for more details on the applications this fits. Now these differential covers are made from cast aluminum. They got a durable black anodized finish. They got these fins on here. They're going to help dissipate the heat and also for strength. It's going to add additional 1.125 more quarts of fluid, and it's backed up by a lifetime limited warranty. Now I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get this installed on this Ford F-150 here. Okay, we're in the shop. We got our 2016 Ford F-150 5.0 liter equipped with the Super 8.8 rear end. We're going to go ahead and remove and replace 9 bolts, but we're going to keep 3 stock ones right here. These are got studs so we can reattach this breather line. Now we're going to have to remove these 4 bottom bolts first so you can drain the fluid out of the rear end. Now that's one nice feature here with the new B&M diff cover. You got a drain plug right here, so it makes the draining of the fluid not as messy as the stock one. Okay, we're going to start by removing these 4 bolts right here. We're going to use a 1/2 inch socket with a ratchet. Okay. Now we got these 4 bolts undone. Next, we're going to loosen all these other bolts. You want to probably turn them a couple turns loose. Okay, we got all of our bolts removed. We got these ones all loosened. Now we're going to take a flat blade screwdriver or a little pry tool. And we're just going to just carefully tap on the corner edge. Make sure you have a drain pan handy. Now just give it a little pry. Okay. Alright, just gotta let it drain for a little bit here. Okay, now it's done draining. We're gonna go ahead and remove the rest of the bolts. Okay, we got our last bolt right here. We're just gonna go ahead and remove it. And again with your little pry tool. Next, we're gonna clean this whole area. You're gonna have to remove all the old gasket. And this is the time to also clean and inspect your rear end. Okay, we got our rear end nice and clean. We're almost ready for the new B&M diff cover. Okay, before we put this diff cover on, we're gonna have to do a couple things. We're gonna have to install the 2 low bolts and then also put in the drain plug down below right here. So I got the drain plug. It's got a nice little magnetic end to it. It's gonna help pick up any kind of metal debris or shavings inside the differential fluid. So we'll go ahead and start it here by hand. Okay, now with a 1/4 Allen and a ratchet here, we're going to go ahead and just snug it up. Okay. Next, we're going to install the 2 low bolts. We got to do that from the inside. So we're going to turn this around. Take our load bolts, and we're just going to screw them in. Now, I would screw them in pretty much all the way till they stop. So when you put the differential cover on, you're not having any issues. Okay, we got the load bolts installed, and then also we got the drain plug down below installed. Now this hole right here, this is your fill plug, so you can leave this off right now. Now we need to put some RTV black silicone on here. Make sure you want to go around the bolt holes and get a nice good coating of it. Now after we got our silicone on there, now we're ready to go ahead and install it. Got one of our bolts here, it's got a flat washer on it. Grab another bolt. We'll put one on the other side. Go ahead and start the rest of the bolts by hand. We'll work our way from the bottom all the way around. Okay, we got all our bolts started. Now remember, there's 3 bolts. They're going to have studs on them. These 3 are going to be reused. So you're going to have to put one right about this corner. Then you're going to use a normal bolt. Then you're going to do a stud, and then a normal bolt, and then another stud right here in this corner. Okay, now we're ready to tighten it down. We got our 5/16 Allen with a ratchet here. Now we're going to tighten it down and we're going to do a cross pattern. So what I mean by that is we're going to start on one side and then we're going to go across to the next bolt, then across to the next bolt, then across. And what this is going to do is it's going to evenly tighten down the differential cover on the rear end. Okay, now we got all the bolts tightened. Now we're going to put the breather line back on and these will just snap back onto those studs. Okay, next we're going to tighten down the load bolts against the bearing cap inside the rear end. We're going to go ahead and just screw these in by hand till they stop. Okay, next with the torque wrench and a 1/4 Allen, we're going to go ahead and torque these down to only 5 foot-pounds of torque. So be careful, do not over tighten these because you can cause damage to the bearing cap inside. and you can hear it click. So that's all it is. There's not very much to these guys. Next, we're going to put some black silicone sealer onto the threads, and then we're going to tighten down the jam nut. Now we got these little jam nuts. We're going to go ahead and screw these on by hand. Now with a 3/4 socket and a torque wrench, again, you're going to torque these down now to 5 foot-pounds of torque also. Okay, next thing to do is use your recommended fluid. You're going to fill it through the fill plug right here. When refilling the differential, utilize the factory fill hole for your fluid level indicator. That concludes the installation on the B&M Hi-Tek Differential Cover for the Ford Super 8.8, and the installation time was roughly about an hour. So thank you for watching, and be sure to follow B&M Racing on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.